On today's episode, we talk about Hotel DeNovo. It's a new tapestry that just opened in Springdale, and we believe it's going to be the #1 tapestry in the world. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Welcome back to another episode of the Virtual GM Podcast. This is episode 7 of season 2, and today is a drive to work or drive home from work episode. Not going to be as long. We don't have as much time because we have some guests who are going to be joining us for episode 8, and we've got to film them in the same day. So be sure to listen to this entire thing because we're only going to run 10, 15 minutes at max. But then we've got a really cool surprise episode for you in episode 8 with some cool guests. Even though we're short on time, we're never going to skip the segue. So, Megan, why don't you kick us off with a business best and a personal best?
Okay, let's see. Business best. Well, it's summer. Our kids are home from school.
Is that a best?
So, yeah, figuring out a schedule that works where I'm still getting all my work done, but the kids are still having a fun summer. So,
in fact, our kids are in the studio right now watching us record this because we don't have any childcare.
Nope.
So I think that's
real life.
That's another just a little pull back the veil of life. You know, like when you're an entrepreneur and a business owner, like you just got to figure it out. You know, so our kids are here, which is cool. I think it's cool that they're here watching us do this. You know,
100%. And then let's see, personal best. You said it on last episode, but we did see 2 really awesome movies over the weekend.
Yeah.
And not only in the movie theater, but we went home and we watched a couple of movies with the kids. So
2 great movies.
Yes.
Fall Guy.
Yes.
Awesome. Turns out it's a remake of an older movie.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah. Not me. Fall Guy was super good. And then you got to talk about the other one.
What was it called?
Arthur.
Yeah. Me, Arthur. With
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
That great family movie. If you
Watched
need a good
2
cry.
movies that made me cry over the weekend. Not cool.
Yeah, and our kids love watching movies, so it really, it's really great family time, even though we're hanging out. But yeah.
That movie with Mark Wahlberg called Arthur something.
Well, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's based on a true story about like endurance racing, and it was just like
saving animals.
Something about animals in movies, it just makes me right on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, Business Best season 2 is just underway. This is episode 7. We're about to record episode 8. It's so cool to be back in the chair and have that going again. In fact, something that's really cool is we did an episode about like the 3 must-haves, our favorite softwares or whatever.
Yes.
And we talked about Akia, and John, the VP of sales for Akia, clipped it, posted it on LinkedIn, reached out to us, said thank you, and that he appreciated us and loves working with us. It's just so cool because it does make an impact.
Yeah, I love having those relationships with,
and we really love and appreciate that because everyone that we work with, like we've really like committed to them, know, like a WebRes or an Akia or a Lynx Locks. Excuse me. We've really committed to them, and like they are our partners in such a big way, know? So just seeing that and getting that feedback on the episodes, like we're doing the right thing, and I'm glad we're back. And then, I did 2 business bests. How funny. My other business best, I guess it's both, is that, and this is something I'm just unbelievably proud of. Hotel DeNovo just opened. This is a tapestry, a part of the Hilton collection. So when you're looking at Hilton, the top is LXR. That's like their 5-star, 5-diamond property. So Crockford's in Vegas is an LXR. Waldorf is an LXR now.
Yeah, that just made that transition.
I shouldn't say it that way. The Biltmore, which was a Waldorf Astoria in Scottsdale, is now an LXR property. So it's no longer the Waldorf, it's LXR. And then you've got your Waldorfs, 4-diamond, and then you've got your Curio. Waldorf's like 4.5. Curio, which is 4-diamond, and then Tapestry, which is like 3.5. And so there's this property in Springdale. It's called the Majestic View. It's been there forever. It's the gateway design. It's the very first property. It was this old school log cabin property. It had like a museum with, what are those things called?
The stuffed animals.
Yeah, stuffed animals, not the right word, but
I know.
Real animals that are
they stuffed
now have stuffing in them and look real.
What do you call that?
Taxidermy?
Yes.
That's what it is.
That is so interesting.
Yep. Just a very interesting property. What's crazy is they had like the best restaurant in all of Springdale, but I don't know that it was ever open and just no one ever did it right. And it wasn't designed well. But so we were their branding agency for this property. So we came up with the names, which shout out Kyle Aldridge.
He's the one who came up with the hotel.
DeNovo is him.
Wow,
and DeNovo is really cool. It means anew, which we're taking this property, we're making it anew. It's also has roots in law, which the owner of the property is also an attorney. So it's really cool, like the symbolism of that. And then the restaurant is called the new ANU, which is cool because you don't know it, but the two things are actually the same word, just being described differently.
Oh, wow.
And then amazing chef Sean Foster, Chef of the Year for the state of Utah. Any restaurant he's ever done is just out of bounds.
Sago, right?
Yeah, Sago is him.
Food's so good.
Wood Ash Rye is him at the Avenir in Southern Utah. I mean, he is
incredible,
unbelievably talented, and such a great because it's one thing to be a good chef. There's lots of good chefs who aren't good restaurant owners. Oh, he's both. Like we know. Yeah, we're still paying for it. Currently paying for that now. Chef Sean is so good, and this property is just absolutely stunning. It's so cool to see it because like the renderings have come to life now.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like, it's been
a long process too.
It's been years. We started it over 2 years ago. Wow. And so we did all of the branding. We created the storylines, came up with the colors, came up with the fonts, worked with the designers. So when we went, I talked in episode 6 about the HD Expo when we went with Jordan in Vegas. We met with I can't remember their name. We met with all of our designers for that project there too in person.
Okay.
And they did such an amazing job. And to see it just all come together, to know that it's open, we're about to launch the website. So if you're actually listening to this episode, the site should be live, hoteldenovo.com. I mean, it is just, and so the people who owned Hotel DeNovo also own the Cliff Rose.
Right.
And so now, because the Cliff Rose is only 52 rooms and Hotel DeNovo is about 72, I bet you it'll be the #1 tapestry in the world because the Cliff Rose, as the curio, as that flagship property, as soon as it's full now, because I'm sure we're doing the website, so we're going to have the Cliff Rose on the DeNovo site and DeNovo on the Cliff Rose site.
Smart.
So, right?
I got the chills when you said that. I mean, I think it's
I really honestly believe
well.
it'll be the #1 tapestry in the world, which is so cool because we will have created the branding and the storyline and all of that for the #1 tapestry in the world. And this is something that we as Vibrant never did until we started, right? Like, well, the Cliff Rose we didn't do. Bondier did it. We helped.
Oh, right.
But we didn't do it. We didn't have that skill set at the time. And so we watched what they did for the Cliff Rose. We created our own program. Now we've done it for a bunch of smaller boutique properties all around the United States. But this was our first flagged major property. And so I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more excited. I can't wait for you to see the website. And we did something really cool on the website. It's unlike any website we've ever done. Absolutely beautiful. And so we were actually just looking at rates last week for another property of ours. And I was like, you know what? We better check DeNovo to see what their rates are at.
Right.
And when I checked, their rates were $473 a night.
Wow.
Which is incredible because they are going to be able to charge so much.
What were their rates prior?
Oh, when Majestic View, I don't know, that probably would have been $200 maybe.
Wow.
You know, so it's going to be so unbelievably successful. I believe it's going to win design awards. The restaurant, and they have
the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've got this amazing bar that they built in it too, which I just can't wait to go have a drink there.
We have to go stay there.
Oh, I know. I told Sam that when I talked to him yesterday while working on the website. It is such accumulation of time and effort. And when you think of you start with just the names, what's it even going to be? And this is interesting too, because you're building a brand for something that doesn't exist. You're creating the brand you want it to be, not the brand that it is.
Right.
So a lot of our brand efforts have been, here's this property that's existed for so much time. Let's take all of that data and define who and what we are. DeNovo was different, where it's who and what do we want to be?
Right, because you didn't want to be what they were.
So it's a completely different exercise, right, with our team and something that we just worked on for so long. And then, so you do all of that, you do the exercise, you come up with the names, then you're starting to work on colors, then you bring in the designers. And so you see the renderings in the beginning. And now to go sit at this bar that I saw as a drawing.
Yeah.
You know, it is just such a cool experience. And thinking back to the Cliff Rose, I can remember, when they were Atwater was our design firm at the time, to see the rooms on they draw it out and then you go in the room and it's what it looks like.
Yeah,
it's
that is
just
very cool.
It's like stepping into a cartoon or a comic book, right? And so I just couldn't be more excited about that. If you have a property and you're looking for branding efforts, it's one of our absolute favorite things to do. It's of all the things we do, what may be my favorite because it's such a cool experience to distill down who and what a company is.
We have to be so creative too.
Yes. And I love being able to
creative.
exercise that side of my brain. And then when you get to see it come to life,
That is the coolest part.
it's just so rewarding. So I can't wait to get up there and truly experience. And they redid the pool. It's got
That's
the best pool in
incredible.
Springdale now.
Well, and the whole entrance to the hotel. I remember looking at the
yes.
renderings thinking like, wow,
And it's going to have
like breathtaking.
the best event space in all of Springdale because you're so limited in what you can and can't do in Springdale.
Will they have weddings?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and conferences. And I mean,
Cool.
it is, just
That's amazing. I'm happy for them.
yeah, so incredible. I just can't wait to see what they do. And I really do think it has a real chance of being the number one tapestry in the world.
Oh,
And
100%.
Tapestry is some cool,
Well,
cool
and
hotels.
especially where those rooms sit. Well, they sit higher up on the cliff anyways, but
Yeah.
then they have those rooms on the cliff.
Yeah.
Overlooking just
Unobstructed
nothing,
views
right?
of Zion. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you're just not, you're kind of away from the city, like
Yeah.
the town,
You are.
So it's very, very cool.
And it's just
property.
cool, I think, for Springdale too, because it is the gateway to Zion. Like that's your
Totally.
first, like that's your, we're here.
Yes.
We're in, like the Springdale signs right here, DeNovo signs right
Yeah,
here.
you're really starting those expectations.
Yeah,
Hi.
so cool. I know that was a short and sweet episode, but if you're listening to this, go check out hoteldenovo.com. If you like it and you think the work is cool and you want to work with us, reach out to myself at Cody@thevibrantteam.com. We love doing branding. We love building websites, logos, colors, typography. It's our jam. Can't wait to do another one. But most importantly, thanks for listening and thanks for supporting us.
Yeah. Have a great day.